Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Before I get into anything, I just wanted to say thank you so much to all the people who are supporting me, supporting my channel, who are watching my videos, for liking, for commenting, for finally reaching over like 100 subscribers. And like 100 may not be big to some people, but for me it really matters. There's like about 111 people, or maybe more now, who actually cared to watch my video and to subscribe, and I just want to show my appreciation to you guys. And also today, because we are like over 100, I wish I had a full bottle of this, but unfortunately I did not because I was drinking it over the weekend. We'll be drinking some Remy Martin, baby. I also do not have Dash, so I'm just going to use what we have in the house, which is this cool from Woolworths. I didn't put too much ice because yeah, and this is also like almost finished. I don't know if you can see that light thing. I also just came back from work and running some errands because today I have to bake. I have a bakery, guys. I have a bakery. Slowly but surely, like, I'll tell you a little bit more about myself. It's just like right now I'm still getting used to this whole thing. Just for like a little over 100. I was so shocked, guys. Last night I was actually looking at my statistics and I saw like we're over 100, and I'm so grateful. You guys have no fucking idea, okay? Especially to the ladies, I want y'all to buckle up and learn some shit from me right now, because I went through hell and back for a short king. He's not even a fucking king. I don't know why is my phone doing this weird light.
Guys, I'm so sorry, but my phone kept on doing this weird lighting thing and it was really bothering me, so please just bear with me for this video. It's gonna do that quite a lot, but you can always just like listen and not watch it. Thank you.
Guys, I just wanted to take a little sippy without some Dash, just to say thank you to everybody. Oh, goddamn! Try it out. This is hitting. Okay, ain't got roaches in here or nothing. Let's get into it, guys. So if you guys didn't watch part 1 of the story time, please go and educate yourself so that you understand, so you're on track with me. Remember our characters: Legion, Ice Boy, Kiwi, Riabetswe, and Sasha. And the establishment. Cool. We last ended this story when I was like posting like old content of myself on my Instagram to make this motherfucker think that I was like really out and living my best life when I was just sad and at home and shit. Right? So I want to fill y'all in with our previous story time, just so like you can like get the gist of this entire thing, because it's sana. So another thing, when me and guys, I lost the nail on Saturday. When me and this bullshit ass whole motherfucking bulldog when that asshole and I were together, there was a time when he was like to me, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that like I finally get to like, you know, be with you and talk to you and stuff like that. And the reason why I was more confident, guys, can you see that light? Maybe I should start doing vlogs. Oh my gosh, I'm so gorgeous. But anyways, I was still telling you, this idiot was telling me about how like the reason why he had the confidence to, you know, buy me drinks that time when he met me at the establishment was because every time he's seen me at that establishment, right, I'm always drinking champagne, I'm drinking like Hennessy, I'm drinking her. So he thought that like these were his exact words. That's why I feel like I know that there are guys who watch my story times. So this is a tip for the men who are watching my story times: do not approach a girl that like if you know you cannot handle a bad bitch, or you know that you cannot handle a girl who likes nice things, then don't go to her. Please leave her alone. Leave her for the men who can provide or do the things that need to be done. He was like to me, oh my gosh, like that was like the first time I saw you drinking Savannah, and like it boosted my confidence. So me drinking Savannah boosted your confidence. He's like, that's why he was able to buy me like Savannah and stuff like that. And that's why he was able to buy me Savannah, whatnot, because every time he has seen me at the establishment, I'm always drinking champagne. I'm drinking champagne, Astra Pears, Remy Martin, vodkas and shit like that. And I'm just like, nigga, do you, in my head, I was like, oh. And he's like, yeah, you always got you've always got your nails and your lashes done. Cheapskate. There was also a time when this is like, and this is the new part, but there was also a time when he had gotten paid. Mamela, mind you, this guy has never like sent me money, and he's rich. Like when I tell you he's rich, he's rich. He's driving fancy cars back and forth. Even the belts he's wearing, the clothes he's wearing, his lifestyle. He's never. If we were to sit in a room, like all of us had to start from scratch, and we have to put him in there, because all his friends that he has, all of them started from scratch to get to where they are. They're not using mommy and daddy's money. So if we were to sit with him in a room and talk about like ideas and shit like that, or talk about, okay, cool, we're doing this on our own, we're the ones breaking our own generational curses, he would never relate. There was a time when he used to constantly like ask me about like my upbringing. And for those of you who do not personally know me, I had a very rough upbringing. My siblings and I have trauma. Like we are fucking traumatized from how we grew up. It was never easy. And yeah, I guess that also shaped my way of thinking and my mentality and stuff like that. Nothing came to me easily. Everything I have, I've worked for, and it's drilled in my head. I have to work for the shit I want, and I'm very domesticated because I had to fend for myself growing up. Like ain't nobody coming to save me, child. Like at one point, I was the one taking me and my siblings to school because of my bakery. The fucking lights thing is irritating me. From my upbringing, right? He was always like curious, like wanting to know, like, babe, what happened when you were growing up? Because there are some stuff that I couldn't talk to him about. I would just like briefly tell him like, oh yeah, we were homeless for like a little bit, and yeah, that's it. And then like I just move on with the conversation. But then he would like go back there and be like, what do you mean? Like you were homeless for like a little bit? And I'm like, yeah, like, I've been on streets. I slept on streets, child. You know what I'm saying? And he would want to know. He just want to know. But the thing is, sometimes, guys, when you're spiritually gifted, it's not always fun and games, because you can see through people. Like you can easily see when someone is like a flop, or when someone is not genuinely there for you, or something like that. I don't know how to put it. Like you can see when you cannot trust someone. And with him, every time he was asking me about my upbringing and stuff like that, I couldn't like just open up to him and tell him about it, because I could see that this is not a genuine person. This is not a person that I can rely on, or this is not a person that I can tell like, look, I need help. It's not easy. Like nothing actually comes easy for us who had to dig ourselves out of the dirt, especially when you come from extremely broken and abusive homes. It's not that easy. So this fucker didn't understand that. There was also a time, this is like after we got back together. Remember we broke up, now we back together, but I'll get into that. There was a time when he started becoming very insecure about himself, because I was showing him pictures of my siblings, the men in my family. And the men in my family are very big, like daughter, like they got the muscle, the height, everything, and the hair. And I'm attracted to that. And he has little to none hair and little to none height. So he did something one morning. I'll get into that.
When I was sleeping at his place, I woke up to the sound of cheeks clapping, and when I looked up, he was squeezing his butt cheek and holding something. And when I asked him what was up, he was like asking, do I know how to inject? I was like, inject what? He's like, do you just know how to inject? And I was like, no, I don't. Meanwhile, homeboy was just trying to inject his booty with some like testosterone shots, so it can make him like bigger and stuff like that.
He got like so defensive, and he was like, oh yeah, you know what, like I see it's because they have like a lot of testosterone and stuff like that. And he was telling me stuff that I do not understand. I didn't know that when men have like a lot of height and hair, it means that they have like a large amount of testosterone in their system, right? Cool. So he was showing me. I don't know why he felt touched by seeing my family, and you know, he got touched. Then he started showing me pictures of his exes, actually, like, oh, these are my exes. And he was so confident. He's scrolling, this is my ex, this is, you know, this is like, these are my, he's got like 4 exes, and he was showing me them, and they just look so fucking basic. And in my head, I'm looking at him, and no, I actually said this out loud because I have a tendency of saying my thoughts out loud. I was like, Tim, damn, so I'm the baddest bitch you've ever dated. Like, even homegirl who was here, like, when screaming and falling down the wall, like down the door, like I'm even a better bitch than her, child. And the thing is, girls from Joburg, girls from Gauteng, right? Like we love showing up, we love looking good. There's no way you're gonna fucking see me slacking, child. So since I've been a bad bitch, always been, always will be, always have been. Okay, and he has never been with one. So I was looking at him like, nigga, you been with these little church girls from small towns with small families and shit like that. Who big as Ella? Hey, but I was also big as Ella. Let me not trash talk them. So yeah, and he was showing me all these exes, and then you know what I did, guys? You see, so my man right now, like, we only started dating like recently, you know, but he's been asking me out for years, like almost 5 years. So at the time when I was dating this asshole, my current man, nah, he had sexy pictures of himself on his IG. Guys, he had some hot pictures of himself on IG, and I knew it was gonna make him insecure. So I was like, yeah, no, this is my ex. I show him, and I searched, and you know what I did on purpose? I searched my man there, but at that time he wasn't my man. I searched my man on his phone on purpose so that it can leave a history on Instagram. I guess when you search for someone, it leaves the search history. I searched my man on his phone, and I was like, yeah, this is my man. And there was a picture of him. Oh, that picture, Pt2. I even screenshot it at one point because I had such a huge crush on him, but I don't know why I never like said yes to him. So I screenshot it, guys. He was wearing like all black or something with a graphic tee. And like I said, I don't know if I cropped it out of like my previous story time, but I like a man who can like swag up, you know, like look like a gangster, daddy. I like a Gaddafi, you know what I'm saying? Like, he look like he can handle business. Oh. And my man, oh, he looked like he could handle that business, child. So there was a picture of him looking like he's handling business, and he's wearing like all black and in front of like a huge white house. So it's only now I'm finding out, like now that we're together, now that I'm like talking about it, like he told me like, nah, that's my home, you know. So I showed that motherfucker, piece of shit, I showed him the picture, and I was like, yeah, that's my ex. And then he's like, he's just taking pictures in the street in front of nice houses. And then I was like, no, that's his house, sweetie. That's one of his houses. And then he kept quiet. And then he's like, yeah, so why did you guys break up? And I was like, nah. So I need to, guys, my man is Portuguese, right? So I was like, nah, he had to move back to Portugal, and like I couldn't go with him because I was still studying, so I couldn't like relocate with him. That's what I said to him. And then it shut him down. Like, yes! Guys, talking about those idiots just pisses me off. So let's talk about it. So anyway, let's get into the big stuff. Oh, no. Another thing I gotta fill y'all in with, right? Remember in my previous story time, I said I would see weird shit in his house so I couldn't fall asleep. The weird thing is, then again, I'm spiritually gifted. So whenever I would sleep next to him, I wouldn't be able to fall asleep. But when he gets out of bed, because he would wake up like quite frequently at night to go and eat. He would wake up quite frequently at night to go and have like a snack in the kitchen. So when he would get out of bed and hang out with his ice boy in the lounge, and sometimes I would even hear them gossiping. But anyway, during those times, that's when I would start falling asleep, right? So that's why now, like after that relationship, I was like, I can't date someone that I cannot fall asleep with. Like if I cannot fall asleep next to you, if I don't feel comfortable with you like cuddling me when we sleep, it's not gonna happen. Like I cannot date someone I cannot fall asleep next to. So this nigga, I couldn't fall asleep next to him, and I didn't understand why. And mind you, my mother hated this guy. Like my mother hated his fucking guts. You know, when my mother would see his car parked outside to come and fetch me, she'll get livid and ask me, where do you think you're going? And you know, there was even a time when my mother kicked me out and he had to house me for like a couple of days. I left. My mom tried to like hit me with some glass object because she was so mad that I was going to see this guy again. Like she wanted to get it through my thick skull, and I left, guys. I packed my shit and I left. I went to this nigga's house, and for those 3 days when I was at his house, he took care of me. I really appreciated, but I could barely sleep. I could barely fucking sleep, guys. Like there was a time when I was sleeping, and this is how I found out about Riabetswe. I was sleeping, guys, nyapopa. I was sleeping and I dreamt of this black figure. So guys, if you're not a spiritual person, if you do not believe in spiritual things, then please do not but y'all are not mean. Y'all are so sweet. So yeah, there's like I was sleeping and I could see this black figure dragging me. So this thing was dragging my leg off the bed. So as it was dragging my leg, I was also going with this thing, but not physically. So I'm sleeping, guys. It's like sleep paralysis, this demon looking thing, and it was a short female, and I know it was a female because this thing had braids, but it was completely black. I couldn't see the face, I couldn't see nothing. It was completely black. It had long black braids and it had a female's figure. You know, you can see the silhouette with the boob, right? It looked like that. And in this dream, I'm looking at this thing and I stood up, and as I stood up, suddenly I'm standing in front of the bed. I can see the bed is here, so I can see Mogai, I can see Legion and myself sleeping, and I can see this figure dragging me off the bed. I don't know if I'm making sense, guys. Like I'm watching myself sleep and I'm watching Legion sleep, and I can see this thing dragging me. And as I went towards it to look at its face, it moved away, and when it moved away, like the wall also moved. I don't know if I'm making sense, guys. You know, these spiritual things are like very complicated, like they're very difficult to explain, but that is something that happened. And in this dream, while I was looking at this thing drag me, I started screaming in my sleep. I think I was trying to confront it. I don't remember, but I was trying to confront that thing to ask, like, who are you? You know, because I could see her. Like, I could see whatever this thing is. And when I went towards it, it moved away. And that's when I was still screaming in my sleep. I think I was trying to, like, talk. And then Mugai is, like, waking me up. Guys, when I swear on my fucking father's grave, that thing was dragging me. And while I was screaming, Mugai woke up and he was trying to wake me up, and then he was trying to wake me up, and I wasn't waking up because I wanted to confront this thing and ask it, who are you? And he kept on saying, baby. And I woke up and and he looked at, he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing. And the thing is, like, I didn't tell him what's up because I didn't want him to know that specific side of me because of how arrogant he is. Like, guys, I don't know, man. We live in a world with a lot of spiritual shit going on, and if you're not woke, you're gonna flop. You're going to flop fucked up. Like, there are a lot of things I see with other people, but I just keep quiet. So now let's get into there was also a dream where I dreamed where they were burying me alive and so many other stuff, guys. So when I'm explaining this whole thing, you will see, going forward, you'll see that my dreams, my ancestors, and my God have been protecting me throughout this entire thing, right? Cool. So remember, me and homeboy broke up. So fast forward a couple, I think 2-3 weeks go by, and I'm like healing. Mind you, guys, now I'm not a person who will stay hung up on someone for too long. Like, I get over shit very easily. Then that's where my background comes into play. So with relationships, if you and I break up, yeah, I will cry for the first 2 days or 1 day, maybe not even cry at all. Because with this nigga, I did not even shed a tear after that breakup. After me finding him with that girl, I did not shed a fucking tear. Yeah, guys. So I was like out here. I went to Rhapsodies in Clarkstop with my homegirl, the owner of the establishment. We went out, guys. We were having the time of our lives, and I was taking so many shots. I got so lit. Hey, I got so lit, and I looked super good. And there were guys who were buying me shots. So me, I was drunk. While I'm drunk, guys, my phone starts ringing, and I check. And I had changed his name from baby to that idiot. One thing about me, guys, right? I'm not gonna, if we break up or if I have to block a number, I am not going to delete the number. I'm going to keep you saved. So when I get a missed call from you, I know who's calling. You get what I'm saying? DNA 1, do not answer 1. DNA 2, do not answer 2. You know what I'm saying? Take that tip, girls. Do not delete the number that you blocked. Save it as something that you know. So when you get a missed call from it, you know who it is and you know not to call back and ask, hi, who are you? No. So cool, he calls me. I see it's ringing and then I'm just like, hello. And I was so drunk, guys. I answered. I was like, hi. And then he was like, hey, where are you? And I was like, what do you mean, where am I? Why are you calling me? And then he's like, no, I really just want to talk to you. I just let me know when you get home. And I just hung up. I didn't say okay, nothing. I just hung up. And then you can even see my facial expression, like how bored I am with this guy. I just hung up. And then I came home around like 8, 9. I came home because me and homegirl got drunk. I came home around 8 to 9. Around that time, my friend was still living here in Poch, so it was like easier for us, right? So I came home, changed, brushed my teeth, ate dinner again, you know, because guys, you know, when you're drunk you get so hungry. Ate dinner again, and then I went to bed. And then he calls me around like 11 or so. He calls me, he's like, hi, where are you? And I was like, I'm at home. And he's like, how long you been at home? And I was like, oh, it's been hours. And he's like, you didn't tell me that you got home. And I was like, I'm not your girlfriend. I reminded him, real motherfucking. I was like, I am not your girlfriend, sweetheart. Guys, I don't like pointing when like I have one loss. So I was like, I'm not your girlfriend, sweetheart. Please don't do that. And then he was like, oh, okay, can I come and see you? I really need to see you. I said, please just give me this chance. I'm so sorry for everything that happened. I really need to talk to you. You're fuck, man. Me, Lena stupid. I said, yeah, you can come through. He came over and we're sitting in his car and he's driving the other big engine now. One thing about that guy, he has options with cars. That's what I liked. He had options. So you never know what car he be in. You cannot cheat. And another thing, guys, what I liked about being with that guy is that because a lot of people in Poch knew that, okay, this light-skinned girl is dating this rich guy. So we already know what her caliber is. So like nobody would ask me out. Till today, like nobody really asks me out, which I really like because you know my caliber. And I got into the car, guys, and when I tell you, you see the seat, the car seat, I sat here, a sliver of my ass on the seat, guys, and I was, oh my god, and I was sitting at it, and he's like, no baby, you can like relax, you can sit. I was like, I'm not planning on staying here for long. Another thing, guys, I was also drunk, so I can't fully remember everything that he said. I just remember I was just dead quiet, like I was just sitting there like in silence. He was just, I'm so sorry, I love you so much, what I did was so stupid. I don't know what he said. And then he was like, what are you doing tomorrow? I was like, I'm busy. And then yeah, I got out of the car, I left. So another thing, guys, I'm not the kind of girl who will tell you to break up with the guy and leave the guy, because at the end of the day, you're still gonna go back. And not knowing myself, I'm gonna go back. So I'd rather go back until I've exhausted my emotions for this person. I want to be able to look at you and not feel fuck all. That's my thing. So yeah, I got back with this guy, and he was still fetching me from work. He would take me to the salon. Another thing that he used to do, he knew that his duties were paying for my cosmetics. Meaning, when I say cosmetics, I mean my toiletries and my makeup. This guy took care of it. Also my hair. He would pay for everything. Like, if I needed lunch at work, he would pay for that. Like, no questions asked. I'd just be like, yo, I'm hungry, and he'll send me food. Or he'll just like buy me the food from Woolworths, the ready-made food from Woolworths, and then like he would pack it for my lunch. You know, he'd pack my lunch for me, which I really liked, you know. Okay, cool. So this relationship is going, guys. This time he's communicating with me. He even ended up going on like a family vacation, right, for his grandfather's birthday. His grandfather's turning 70 or something like that. So he went with his family to this resort, this like almost like a Kruger National Park thing. He video called me. He was sending me pictures of the whole thing, you know. Like, this time he's being a good boy, you know. I don't have stress. There was a time though where I was at this motherfucker's place, right? I see he used to want me to sleep over all the time. I was at his place, and when I was at his place, we were hanging out. I see he has vibes. So it was me, Ice Boy, and Legion, right? For those of you who do not know the meaning of Legion is like a lot of demons, and I only know that from Fire Rider. What's that? This is a rider. He turns into fire with skeletons and stuff. What's his name? Nicolas Cage. You see Nicolas Cage, that fire. Look into my eyes.
All their power, all their souls, 1,000 souls to burn. Look into my eyes. Your souls are stained by the blood of the innocent. Feel their pain.
That's Legion. That's the meaning of Legion. So I was chilling at Legion's place, and I was laying on the couch. So like, we under a blanket, me and Legion under a blanket, and Ice Boy is chilling on the other couch, and we talking, right? So music is playing, we're having a conversation. I can't remember how this conversation came about, but this conversation came about how women are so loose. Women are loose. And for me, it didn't sit well with me. And I was like, no, women are not loose. It's just like the way guys act around girls. And like, especially like, let me tell you something, pretty girls know this thing, and we do not have the time or the energy to constantly be like, for time. There was, when I used to work at the mall, there was a time, I was telling them the story. I was like, yo guys, there was a time when I used to work at the mall, and I was still working at the mall. I was like, yo guys, there was a time when I was at work and I was cleaning the slush puppy machines, right? And it was in summer, so I was wearing like a strap, like a thick strap top, né? With like a U-shaped thing, né? And there was these other guys who were passing the stall, and one of them said, "Oh, show me your, like, something about like, oh, you've got," yeah, he's like, "Oh, you got a really sexy Milky Way." He's like, "Oh, I really love your Milky Way." So I told Legion and Ice Boy, I was like, yo, some guys, they'll just say weird shit like that, because that's what happened to me like literally a couple of days ago. And Legion sits there and he's like, why didn't you tell me that happened? And I was like, tell you, and then what? Like, and then what are you gonna do about it? You're gonna go to the mall and sit there and wait until like that same guy passes by? What is the chances that this guy will pass by? I don't even remember what he looks like. All I remember was his words, and I didn't even fight back, because what am I gonna do? I have to tag fuck off in the mall at work. Guys, being a beautiful girl, there's a lot of shit that will happen to you, and sometimes like when you even talk about it, when you relate to other people, they'll think that you're mad. Did someone really do that shit to you, friend? You know what I'm saying? So I was telling this guy like, nah, it's a thing that happens, like. And I was telling him like, it's at one point, because you go through it like your entire life since you're like a fucking teenager, when you start developing and you start looking good. So I was like, nah, I don't really like fight back, because what am I gonna say? Like, am I gonna say for like every 5 seconds, that's how hot I am, nigga? I'm like, are you gonna go through that every 10 seconds? And I was even telling him, I was like, dude, there's even this other Instagram model, she's from Port, right? He was even boasting, saying that she wanted him. And I was like, I know this girl, I follow this girl, and I see her stories. Like, I've been following this girl for years. She would never come after you. She would never ever. And he felt so beat down. I was like, nah, don't feel some type of way. Like, I know this girl, I follow her, and like at the time, and also she's never posted a man or anything. I'm just like, dude, you can't tell me that this woman has been following you around and she wants you and stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? Cool, guys. Fast forward. I can see the previous time when we were together, he cheated on me. So you know what I did? One of my exes, guys. I have this ex. I have this ex who owns businesses, right? But this guy was not necessarily like an ex. Like, we did not really date like that, you know? Let's give him a name. Senor. Because he was Spanish. He was Spanish, a rich Spanish guy. So let's call him Senor. So Senor called me. This is like while I was dating his name. So I had just filmed a video. I have another YouTube channel, right? On that YouTube channel, I filmed a story about... Oh, no, I remember. I filmed a story time about how I dated this guy who didn't tell me that he was married. Like, I didn't date this guy, but like I went out on dates with this guy who didn't tell me he was married. So during the story time, I was doing my makeup. I was dressed up, you know. So when I was like done filming, now I was taking some pictures. And while I was taking pictures, Senor called me. Senor calls and he's like, hey, love, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good, Lisa. Mind you, the phone... My phone that I was using to like start my YouTube channel was the phone that this senor bought me as a gift, just to say thank you for giving me a chance. So he called me and he was like, yo babes, what's up? And I was like, hey, what's poppin'? And he was like, look, I just flew back to South Africa and I'm in Port right now checking on my businesses, and I just want to see you for a little bit. And I was like, cool, no problem, definitely, let's go out. And another thing, like, Senor and I did not work out because he has like some underlying anger issues which I was not comfortable around, so we did not work out, and we communicated that. So, but one thing about Senor that I'll credit to him, he has never let me suffer. Like, I've never ever suffered with Senor around. So when Senor hit me up, I was like, yeah, what's up, you know? And then he was like, look, I'm back in South Africa. I'm just gonna be here for a little bit. So I just want to check out my businesses. Maybe we can go out for lunch. I was like, perfect. I just finished like filming and I look good. We can definitely go out. So Senor comes through. He fetches me. And mind you guys, Senor drives a whip. Senor's car. Senor's car. So Senor fetches me. I go downstairs. Like he sees me. He's like, oh my gosh, you know, with the Spanish accent. Ah, babes, you look so good. You look so good. I look good. We drive. Mind you, he's like, where do you want to have lunch? Now I'm thinking about this guy that I'm with. So I'm just like, maybe we can go like in the mountains, right? Why I chose that, you see that restaurant in the mountains where Legion got that phone call and he answered it in the rain? That's the restaurant. And that same restaurant, oh, I even forgot to mention, after Senor cheated on me, or whatever, cheated on me, cheated on her, with Pt2, right? And I had found her Instagram account, right? I was like constantly, I was checking, I became so obsessed with her Instagram page, guys. Like Rabbit, every day I was on Rabbit's page, every day I was looking at her shit, like to a point where I was even like showing my friends, like screenshotting her pictures and sending it to my friends. and my friends were like, nah, she ugly. Even like my brothers, like the guys that I know and stuff like that, like, because I became so insecure about myself, because I'm like, why, like, what is it that she got that I do not got? And you know what's so sad, né? When you get cheated on, those are the thoughts that start going through your mind, like, okay, what does she have that I do not have? Is something wrong with me? Do my coochies stink? And the thing is that it's not just women who go through that, it's also men who go through that. Like, when you cheat on your partner, it instills some sense of insecurity in them that you yourself wouldn't even want in yourself. Because I became someone that I'm not. Even for my YouTube channel, the reason why I fell off was because of that fuck face. Like, fuck face made me fall off, because when I was vlogging, and also, like, I would be out, guys, I would be out with I'd be out with my friends, right? We'll be out for dinner or something like that, né? And I became this girl who, like, I would leave you if we are out for dinner, or we're out for lunch, or we're out anywhere, or if I'm visiting you at your place. Should Legion call and say that he's coming, I'm leaving you regardless, whether we are in the middle of a conversation or not. I am going. That's how I was, guys, and I didn't like that. There were so many times where Sasha and I were in serious conversations, or Sasha would be venting about something that she's going through, and this idiot would call and be like, yo, I'm coming over, and I would like pack up and leave. And guys, it was a real thing, and I didn't like it, to a point where even Sasha like told me like, no, I do not like this. I do not like this version of you. It's fucked up. It's really fucked up. And it to the point where, guys, like guys, to a point where I don't know, guys, I just lost my mind. I didn't even see where my money was going. I didn't see nothing. There was also a time during the second part of the relationship, right? There was a time when Legion had bought a car. So Legion bought a sports car in Joburg. He fetched it with his daddy. So Legion bought the sports car with his daddy and drove to Potch with it, right? When he drove to Potch with it, he parked it at home, but he didn't tell me that he was fetching this car, right? So that first night, he drove around with Ice Boy, his passenger princess. Right? He drove around with his passenger princess around Potch in this car. And the following morning, I wasn't working and I had just gotten paid. So I decided, let me go to the gym. I hit the gym, guys. He made me fall off on so many stuff, including the gym. That day, I decided, you know what, let me go to the gym. As I wake up, I'm getting ready, guys. It's like 7 a.m. 6:30 to 7 a.m., guys. I'm getting dressed to go to the gym. This nigga calls me. No, I was calling him. He said he was gonna come over and stuff like that. So I was calling him, and then he just told me like he's in hospital. So I got scared. I was like, oh, what do you mean you're in hospital? Like, cause as much as he's a fucker, but I'm like, okay, I don't want you to die. Like, I don't want you to die. So he tells me that he's in hospital, and I'm just like, what the fuck do you mean you're in hospital? He's like, you got into a car accident. Guys, I got so stressed out. I was like, which hospital are you in? He told me, and I bolted there. I said, fuck the gym. Guys, I just got dressed. I bolted. I went straight to that hospital. Got there. When I got to the reception by the emergency side, I was like, guys, I'm looking for my man. I'm looking for my man. This is his full name, okay? This is his birth date of birth. This is him. And they were like, no, don't worry, he's fine. That's what the nurses were saying. Jimmy, don't worry, he's fine. Like, he's just being dramatic. That's what the nurse at the hospital told me. He's just being dramatic, Jimmy. He's fine. Don't worry about it. He's fine. And I'm here stressing. The way he was saying it, I was like, oh my gosh, like something is wrong. Cool, guys. I got to the emergency unit. They escorted me to his room, but he was sitting in the passage. So I got him there. And I was like, baby, what's wrong? He told me like he got into an accident. I was like, what? How did you get into an accident? Then he told me, baby, no, I bought a car. Yesterday I bought a car and I drove it home. And in the morning I wanted to come and show you this car. But as you know, like guys, I do not mean to boast. I don't need to boast, but my ancestors will come for you. Okay. He said he just drove out. He drove out of the gate, really tense accident. And we, after going to the hospital fetching him, I bolted all of us back home because now there's no car. It's bolted us back home to his place. He was crying on the phone with his mom, telling his mom that, oh, they're trying to kill me and stuff like that. And I was like to him, we're not going to talk about this. Like, nobody Poch knows that it was you in that car. And it was early in the morning. People were still sleeping. I think it was over the weekend even, or during the week. But like, yeah, there was no one in the street. Nobody saw you. We're not going to talk about it. Nobody got to know what you went through. And neither am I going to talk about it. But here I am right now. Because he's not my man. So yeah. And then he was explaining to me what happened. That he got out, he drove out of the gate. And the steering wheel locked. And he went into the palisade fence. That gate, you know. And he had a concussion. He was so angry. He was like, you know what, these people from the dealership who sold me this car, they sold me a faulty car. I'm gonna sue them. Oh, I'm just gonna get niggas to like come through and ravage up the motherfucking block, you know, because he has power. He's like, I'll call people to ravage up the motherfucking block. So that happened, right? But he didn't call people to ravage up the motherfucking block. He wouldn't do that, but I hope he didn't. I hope he did not. So yeah, that happened. And now he's like busy like being all lovey-dovey with me, holding me, telling people like, yeah, this is my girl, guys, but this woman, she's ABCD, she's the love of my life, you know, she's here for me right now. Cool. And then he bought another one. Fast forward, guys, he bought another one. And oh no. After the accident, when we got home, right, and I was sitting on the couch, I was taking care of him. He didn't want me to go back home. Guys, I went against my mother's wishes. I went to his house and I took care of him. My mom hated that. You know, the way my mother swore at me over the phone that day would say, yeah, he got into an accident, fucking let him die. Guys, and my mom was like, I don't give a fuck if he got into an accident. Do you think I give a fuck? My siblings said the same shit, and not just my mom and my siblings, my friends as well, even my fucking colleague, because I decided like, okay, I'm not gonna go to work tomorrow because like I have to take care of my man. Guys, I told my colleague, I was like, dude, I have to take care of my man. He was like, you gonna take care of that piece of shit? You know what, the entire universe don't wanna see you together, nobody no matter, girl, just like I do, babe. Yeah, he buys another car. When he bought this other car, he was maneuvering proper. But now I need to, guys, my ex hit me up, right? So my ex hit me up, the Spanish ex of mine. So he's also driving a fine ass whip, okay? And it's that international money. It's not that local money. It's that international guap. Like, nah babes, let's go out for lunch. I'm glad you already did your makeup. I know how much you love content. Mind you, that ex of mine, guys, he knew how much I love content and how much I wanted to become like a content creator, because I'm inspired by the girls I see on socials, right? I was like, yeah, we can go out for lunch. So we go to this mountain, that same mountain where me and this fucker went for his birthday. We went to that mountain dinner, that mountain restaurant for lunch, right? We got there, he was taking pictures of me because he was like, yo babes, you look gorgeous, let me take some pictures of you. And at that time he just bought himself a new phone, so it's like, nah, I want you to be the first one on my phone. So he's taking pictures of me by the pool, you know, and I'm looking good. I'm looking good. So when we were driving, when we were on our way to the mountain, he went through the student side. So by the student side, remember those two colored guys in the beginning? You watched part 1. When I met this idiot, he was at we met at the establishment, right? And his friends, he had 2 colored friends sitting with him. Those 2 colored friends were also on that street because they're always sitting there. I don't know for what fucking reason, go conning in their car with speaks and shit. So when we drove past, because I had a new hairstyle, I thought maybe they wouldn't recognize me. So I was like doing this. I can see the windows here, guys. So I was doing this, you know, and we passed Kantia and they saw me, and apparently they told this nigga. And mind you, me and Legion that week were supposed to link up. Like, he kept on postponing and postponing. He was in PTA with Ice Boy, he was in Joburg, he's like, guys, and he kept on like standing me up, like continuously standing me up. And at that point I was like, well, fuck this thing. I think I'm already used to him. I know that you're gonna cheat on me. I know that you're already doing some fuckery. So I was like, yeah, nigga, what's up? So I went out for lunch with my ex, and these niggas saw me. And when homeboy came back, when Legion came back to Port, he calls me. Mind you, that day, guys, I just came back from work. I was so sick. I had flu. I was sleeping. I took sleeping pills, blacked out on my bed. Yeah, guys, Legion hits me up and he's like, yeah, it was fucking nice, wasn't it? It was fucking nice. And I can hear him speeding. Foo, 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 foo. Legion was angry. And I'm happy I made him that angry. Legion was pissed. He was on the phone telling me to fuck off. And now I was like, no, listen, I didn't do anything. We just went and bought food and he dropped me off at all. He's like, yeah, I'm even sure you guys slept with each other because that restaurant in the mountains, is a boutique hotel. So it's like, I'm even sure you guys booked a room and you're fucked. I'm like, I ain't doing none of that shit. And really, I did not. And my question was, you probably think I did that because that's the shit that you do, nigga. And now, how does it feel? Guys, I felt so good. I'm not gonna lie, I felt so good. I was like, yeah, I'm so happy that now he can feel what it fucking feels like. And I just went on a date. This, mind you guys, my ex is so respectful. One thing about that's the most respectful ex I've ever had. That ex, that Spanish one, Senor, he didn't even hug me that day. He didn't even touch a finger, like one, nada. He sat on his side of the car. I sat on my side of the car. When we had lunch, it's like a very big table there. He sat on that side, I sat on this side. No hugs, nothing. The most he did was take a picture of me, and that was it. And the most interaction me and Senor had was when he was giving me my brownie with ice cream. Like, he handed it over. It's because he went to the kitchen to fetch it because he told him that it must be warm, because I love warm brownies. He took my plate to the kitchen, warmed it up, and had them put ice cream on top, and he gave it to me. That was the closest I got with Senor. And this nigga's crying. And then I did, guys. So guys, this is where I like when you yeah, I did. I was calling this nigga. Mind you guys, I'm so drowsy. Imagine I drank sleeping pills. I'm so drowsy, guys. Super drowsy. And then I called what is it called? Legion. I called Legion. I'm like, you're not gonna fucking leave me. And then he's like, no, I'm fucking done. Like, I can't believe you cheated on me. English. So I was like, I didn't cheat on you. I went and got food and I went back home. I'm also gaslighting him the same way, the same way Legion gaslights me. Linda, I didn't say I learned it from him. I'm only doing what you taught me, papi. So yeah. I tell Legion, I'm like, look, I didn't cheat on you. I just went and ordered food and went back home. He proceeds to tell me that Senor is showing everybody my picture, telling everybody that I'm his girl. And I'm like, well, fuck, man. Well, damn. No shit. Senor was a psychotic motherfucker. Let me tell you about Senor. Senor was a psychotic motherfucker who had a shitload of money, whose family was part of a certain mafia. And he took care of me, and I've never ever in not a fucking day in my life of dating Senor did I ever fucking suffer. And here you are crying, fucking fuckface. So I was like, you know what? I was like on the phone with him. I was like, you're not gonna fucking leave me. And he's like, I'm done. He's crying even, guys. I want to think about that guy, he will cry. He's crying. And then wait a minute. Bolt to his place. Crawl over the bridge. Like I did last time. Crawl over the bridge. While I'm crawling over the bridge, guys, students are back. So students are walking past me. They're asking, are you fine? I'm like, hold on. I'm calling on the phone. Listen here. You're not gonna leave me. I'm on the bridge, I'm crawling. I'm talking to this guy on the phone. I'm telling him you're gonna fucking leave me. And while I was even in the boat, I was like, listen, you're getting it all twisted. I did not do shit with this guy. Trust and believe me. He's like, no, my people told me. I'm like, what people? Just because you have power, you can't tell me that you have people in every fucking corner of this block. Bloody bitch. So, nah, guys, I get his place. I cocotela, knock. Before I cocotela, I'm listening because I can see the bathroom door is open and the window to the bathroom is open, so I can hear everything that's happening in the house. Guys, did I not stand like this by the wall? I stood like this and I listened to everything. And he's like, after he hung up on me, randomly, abruptly hung up on me, and just like 2 seconds ago. So I can hear him say, yes, I don't know why the fuck would she do that? She's so irresponsible. How could she do such a thing? Can't you see what she has? Can't I see what I have? A nigga who cheats, that's right. So I cocotella. Coco! And then Ice Boy opens the door. When Ice Boy opens the door, he looks at me like he's even smiling. So, and then I'm like, let me in. And I got in. He's like, I had to tell. He doesn't want you here. I was like, I didn't fucking pay Bolt for nothing, and I used my last money even. Got inside the flat, guys. Got inside this flat. I saw him sitting on the couch like this. Angry. And I was like, what's up? You know, like I didn't hear you, nothing, guys. And the thing is, like, as much as I went to his place telling him like, you're not gonna fucking leave me, nah, I was rejoicing deep down. But yeah, you know what? Now you know how I felt. Now you know how and he was bawling his eyes out, guys, on the couch. He kept on telling me, Rita, you have to leave. He was even checking the watch. He was like, in 10 minutes you have to leave. I'm counting right now. 10 minutes you have to leave. Guys, did I not sit down and make myself comfortable? I sat down and made myself comfortable. I was on my phone, I was on TikTok. I even pulled the heater a bit closer to me, put the blanket on me. I was sitting down. He even made me sit on the floor. He didn't want me to sit on his couch. I sat, do you think that stopped me? I sat on the floor, child. And I shifted, the heater was turned to him. I turned the heater to myself, child. I sat down, I made myself comfortable, and I looked at him. And while he was bawling his eyes out, telling me how much I hurt him, in my head I was just like, good. I'm so sorry, babe. I'm so sorry that I went on a date. I'm so sorry. That's what happened, y'all. Fast forward, guys, into this relationship. Oh yeah, after that he was so angry with me. He didn't want to talk to me. Nothing like that. And like, it hurt me. At one point it hurt me because we stopped talking. And I was like, dude, but I still have feelings for you, you know? And I was crying, guys. I was at the mall, and that was when Adele released her album. So we can love each other for free. Guys, I was not listening to that album and crying at work. And then one fateful day, you see the where I'm working right now, one of my colleagues there, specific girl, let's call her Kia. So Kia was coming. She came to where I was working. She was buying coffee, and she saw that I wasn't okay, and she started asking what's wrong. So I vented to her. I was like, no, this is what's happening. Sorry, this is what's happening. You know, my nigga's cheating on me, and I found out, and what. Guys, tell me why months later. Yes, later. Kia tells me like, nah, this nigga was actually pursuing her. So the time when I was venting to her at the mall, this guy was busy hitting her up. He was hitting her up. He even took her out on a date. While me and him were together, he took my colleague out on a date. My colleague that I work with now. Cool. Fast forward, like I wasn't really telling him much about my life at that point because like I felt like it's just not happening. Also, I remember, guys, I had a mental breakdown. Like I had a huge mental breakdown in public. I went out for dinner at this other restaurant by the student area. Very popular, but it's closed now. I went out for dinner there, and I was sitting and I was ignoring this nigga's texts. And because he was like ignoring me, guys, imagine like you and I are dating and you haven't spoken to me for like 3 days. 3 days straight, you and I haven't been talking. You're driving up and down this fucking area around my fucking hood with your friend, and you can see me the Costa thing, and you're just driving past, and he's like, woo, woo. Ndoda yako sana. Asoze. I had a mental breakdown, and he came. He followed me to this restaurant. He parked out there with his lights brightly on, guys, and my back was facing that car. I didn't turn around. I just sat like this. My friends were like, no, it's okay, man, it's here. One of Sasha's friend that day, Sasha's friend told me like I'm such a potty pooper. Like, why am I even here? Because I'm just like, I'm a potty pooper. I remember that day. I ghosted. And with the man that I'm with right now, like I think that was the guy that when we were showing each other exes and stuff, I feel like that was the guy that intimidated him the most, because every time we would get into an argument, he's like, hi, do you wanna go to Portugal? And there was one time when he was like, do you wanna go to Portugal? And I was like, yes I do, and thank God I am now. I was like, I'm not having this bullshit, this fuckery. What fuckery is this? Like, are you feeding children in Uganda? What is happening over here? You know, I've had exes, guys. I've had horrible exes, but I've never had an ex who was as horrible as this nigga. Another thing that happened, a big milestone for me when I was with this asshole. I'm part of I'm signed by an agency, guys. So I'm signed under a label, right? So they hooked me up. I had like a couple of auditions. I went to Santon, I did a couple of auditions, but I never told them that I've been going to these auditions. I'll just go to Santon, have these auditions, and obviously when you're in Santon, you meet like ballers and stuff, you know. And so while I was back in Poch, I got a call from my manager saying like, hey babes, look, are you busy right now? I was like, no, I'm not busy. She was like, honey, you were accepted to act on House of Zwide. I was like, no fucking way. She was like, yes fucking way. We need you here in Joburg, like ASAP. You're gonna come here, there's fittings, makeup, hair, everything. The hairstyle that you come with, make sure that it's a comfortable hairstyle for you, because you're gonna be with it for a while. Guys, I signed the contract, and the day that I got that news, Sasha also got amazing news for her career. So we decided to go out and celebrate. And this nigga had came back after ghosting me for like a week. He came back from wherever the fuck he was. He came back and he was on some, babe, where you going? So where you going? And I was like, I'm going out with my girl. And that time there was like another event happening in Poch. And I was like, me and Sasha were like, no, we don't even know about that event. Like, we're not even going there. We're going to celebrate our own milestones. And he got so angry, and I wasn't telling him what was happening until later on. Then I told him like, no, look, I just signed a contract with ETV and I'm going to be acting on this specific series. And he got angry, and let me tell you, this nigga not ruin my evening. And Sasha kept on telling me not to tell this nigga anything, but as a girlfriend, I was like, oh babe, this was popping. So he ruined my celebration. And whenever it was time for me to go and film, he had like insecurities. So he would always tell me like, babe, I feel like you're gonna end up cheating on me because like of what I did to you, you know, I feel like you haven't really fully forgiven me and whatnot. And I was like, why do you think I'm gonna go and cheat on you? And he was like, yeah, because like what I did was not cool, and if you were to do that to me, I'd also get like really angry. And I'm like, yeah, but I forgave you anyway, so what's up, what's popping, brother? And I could see the insecurity in his eyes. Remember guys, I'm spiritually gifted. I could see the insecurity in this motherfucker's eyes, and I could see how scared he was, especially Dimhle and Goku, like beg. Yeah. And he was like, no, I feel like you're gonna end up cheating on me when you go to Joburg, especially like in the entertainment industry. There's like a lot of ballers, you know, there's people who are like fly, who have money, your type is in that industry and stuff. And I was just like, yeah, but like, you know, my type is in the industry, like, you know, I'm still like, I want to do shit, you know. Whenever I would have to film, right, sometimes we'd film for 2 days, sometimes we'd film like for hours on end, and then sometimes we'll film for like hours and hours on end, right? So I would have to sleep in Joburg to film, you know, and he didn't want that. Guys, this nigga would make me lie to my mom, tell my mom that I'm going to Joburg so I can go and film tomorrow. And my mom would be so happy, like, we're here, Shumi, bye my child. And I'd go, but I'm actually going to his place, and I'm sleeping at his place, right? And when I'm at his place, the following morning, he'd book a bus ticket for me, and he'd make me wake up at like fucking 3 a.m. And I'd get there around like 5:30 or like 6 or something like that, and my call time is at 7. So when I get there, I get to the studio, guys, I have to sit and chill, and I'm getting tired, I'm sleeping, guys. And mind you, like, you film for hours, you're getting hair and makeup done, and it's no child's play. You see when you're watching The Wife and House of Sweetie and stuff like that, it's no child's play. Those people are working their ass off. And then another time, yeah, fast forward, like this whole thing is happening. I remember we were having an argument, and he told me that Pt2 is educated. For those of you who know me, like, okay, who know me like personally, because I know I haven't mentioned this on my channel, but I studied photography, right, at Pt2 Academy. I studied photography. I have a diploma in photography, right? I did my hours and everything. So I'm a qualified photographer who knows all these things, right, with regards to editing and stuff. And that is my qualification, and I use it, and it makes me money, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, no, you're not educated, and my family loves educated people. Tell me why I still stayed. Tell me why I still stay, child. He's always like, nah, his family loves educated people. And homegirl, Pt2. Guys, Pt2 is a qualified pharmacist. She had a bachelor degree in pharmaceuticals. So yeah, at one point, Pt2 had removed all their pictures from her Instagram and stuff like that, and their videos from her Instagram. She also had his name on her bio, and he also had her name on his bio with a lock, a heart and a lock, like, this is forever, this is it, this is our last bus stop. So what else, guys? This part 2 of this relationship was so hectic and all over the place, you get what I'm saying? Fast forward, there was an evening when I was doing my hair. This is when shit was going down. No, before that, I was sleeping over at his place, and then over the weekend he said he has to go and fetch another consignment. About this consignment, I wanted this consignment. He had to go and fetch a consignment, right? And I was like, okay, cool, baby, don't worry. You can go and get your consignment, right? So he disappeared for the weekend. He didn't even call me nothing. And guys, me a poop. You know what I pooped at? You know what I dreamt of? I dreamt of him and this girl at her apartment, right? Mind you, he shipped this girl off to a town that doesn't even have a Woolworths or a McDonald's or a fucking mall. After she graduated, he shipped her off to that town so that she can start working. He shipped her off to this really tiny little town, dusty ass town, his birth town. She went there. He got her an apartment and everything, right? Cool. I dreamt of them at her apartment in the kitchen, and like they were packing her stuff. She was moving out of this apartment. In that dream, she was even like making him food. He was eating his stuff, right? And then on two consecutive days, I dreamt of the same thing. And so eventually I started blowing up his phone. He's not answering. I'm blowing up his phone. Guys, I was not stopping. Now one thing about me, if I'm dedicated to the cause and I want answers, and I want to know for a fact that this is it. I called him. I called. He didn't pick up. Eventually, I sent him a message. I was like, you better not be with that fucking bitch. And then guess what happened after that call? He called me, and then out of nowhere, I do not want anything to do with you. We are done. I'm choosing who I'm choosing. So guys, the phone was on speaker. Guys, did I not laugh? I laughed and I was like, are you with Rehabisi right now? And he's like, yes. So I started laughing. I was like, is she the one making you say all this shit? He's like, no, but I'm choosing her. So I was like, okay, sweetie. And then he's like, do not call me again, block my number, don't even think about me. He hung up. When I call back, I'm blocked, right? Now remember guys, I know he uses an iPhone and an Android. So now I know how it is when I'm blocked on an iPhone, and I know how it is when I'm blocked on an Android. I'm calling back, nothing. Eventually, I get a call back. When I get this call, and this is like late at night, guys. Eventually, I answer this call again. There. Oh, another thing I forgot to tell you guys. Part 1 of this whole story, right? I wasn't following this girl, but I knew her Instagram, so I was like stalking her and stuff, right? So when me and this asshole motherfucking goddamn shit, right? When me and Satan's shit got back together, I decided, because I had my business phone, I decided to create an Instagram account on that phone, and I was stalking her on that phone. And when I told my friends, I was like, look, I created a fake account on my business phone, and I'm following this girl on my business phone, because her account was private, it was public at the time. I followed her, and they were like, no friend, it's not really necessary. Guys, I tell you, like when I tell you, literally about 2 or 3 days later, she went private. And I was inside, locked in bench. So I was up to date with everything. Whatever moves he made with her, I was up to date, because she only got her nails done for him. She only got her hair done for him. She'll go out with him. She'll post with him. Her life was only about him. But at the same time, like, I do not necessarily judge her, because maybe that's just who she is. Because I know for a fact, like, the day that I start living with my man, that man is so handsome, guys. My husband. My man is so handsome, child. So I know the fact that when I start living with him, it's probably always gonna be about him and I, you know. But I'm saying, like with what she was doing, you know, it was all about her, like all about him. Like she only get dressed when she's going out with him, only do her hair when she's going out with him, probably only shave her coochie when she's gonna see him. So I was just like, honey, I'm sorry, I'm a delicate honey. I want to look good all the fucking time, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So cool. Yeah, Mgowa, she and this nigga were together at her place, and I was blowing up his phone, and eventually she calls me back. But she calls me back on his phone, and she's like, hello. And then I'm like, but she has such a nice voice though. Rehabitsu has such a nice voice. She calls me, And then I'm like, hello, and she's like, hello, and I'm like, am I speaking with Rabbit? And she's like, yes. And I speak with the Tabby, I'm like, yes. She's like, well, I'm sitting here with Legion. And I'm cooking for him. He's been at my place this entire weekend, and I saw that you were calling him a lot of times, and I've been telling him to answer the phone, and he don't want to answer the phone. So I was like, she's like, yeah. And I told him to call you back. He don't want to call you back. And this whole time he's been acting weird, he's been acting suspicious. But yeah, guys, when I tell you that phone call, that was what keep it. Me and Rebezu were exchanging information. This nigga said this. Yeah, he said this. You know, Rebezu told me he's been cheating on me for like 3 years now. For the past 3 years, there was even this white girl who was cheating on me with the porch when we were in college, when we were in varsity. But guys, the tabas were coming out. There was so much, and I was so angry. And there was a point earlier in the conversation before information was exchanged. There was a point in the conversation where I said to her, I was like, nigga, I was like, bitch, I don't know why you still with that nigga, because this nigga been fucking me raw, coming in me, telling me that you are an irritating motherfucker. He hates your family, he hates your mama. He says your mama get on his last damn nerve. He told me that your sister is the worst bitch that he's ever met. He's badmouthed your entire family, including you, like on multiple levels, and I don't understand why you are still there. He even told me that you're just like, you just don't want to let him go, you're just obsessed with him. So I don't understand what the fuck is this. Yeah, eventually there was one point in the phone call, because like there was so much that was being said, guys, I don't remember. At one point in this phone call, I could hear this nigga in the background say, yeah, but I love both of you, might as well become like I might as well just date both of y'all, then we can be like in a polygamous marriage. And he was obsessed with that polygamy guy on Showmax. This nigga was obsessed with that polygamy guy on Showmax. And I was like, ain't no fucking way. There's no way that I'm gonna go into a polygamy. Like, I am selfish. I'm sorry, I'm selfish, and when it comes to relationships, I'm gonna be a narcissist, because it's just gonna be you and I. That's it. And that's how it's gonna end. It's you and I. You're tired of me, take a nap. Take a nap, sweetheart. I'm tired of you, I'll take a nap. Unless it becomes abusive, we can go our separate ways. So that's the whole shit that happened. Then we broke up. We broke up, guys. I was like, no fucking way. And I was even laughing about it. I was like, wow. And yeah, so when this nigga pulled what he pulled and homegirl was telling me what she was telling me over the phone, like, I was just like, okay. Yeah, okay, cool, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, my career in entertainment, like the entertainment industry, I'm doing good. Nothing's like weird and stuff. And I was just fine with it. And we broke up, and I was like, yeah, whatever, bye-bye. And I blocked him everywhere, and I just kept on like living my life and being a bad bitch. Because that's what I am. But anyway, guys, this story time is like really long, because I was also filling you in with something else. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And then again, thank you, my over 100 subscribers. I really appreciate it, and I really hope that I can do a giveaway very soon. Bye.